In the year 2015, in South Carolina, in Vermont, and throughout America, children are going hungry. It is not acceptable that billionaires become richer when kids in this country go hungry.
Welcome back to Hardball. That was, of course, Bernie Sanders warming up, rallying a crowd in South Carolina just moments ago. The Democratic primary race doesn't have the same fireworks, of course, we're seeing on the Republican side, at least not right now. But frontrunner Hillary Clinton might be set for a collision course with her closest rival, Bernie Sanders, who's holding a town hall meeting in Columbia, as I said, South Carolina, as we speak. Anyway, a report today in the New York Times compares Sanders' insurgent campaign to that of Barack Obama 8 years ago. Quote, by overtaking Hillary Rodham Clinton in New Hampshire in some polls and drawing tens of thousands of people to his events on the West Coast, as well as thousands in Iowa and Nevada, Mr. Sanders, 73 years old, has recaptured the enthusiasm that fueled the 2008 Obama campaign, with T-shirts that say, "Feel the burn," and show an image of a floppy white hair and glasses replacing the famous image of the Obama Hope poster. Anyway, sure enough, that image of Sanders is ubiquitous at his campaign events, has become a symbol of what Sanders has described as a coming political revolution. In 3 short months, he's consolidated enough Democratic support to emerge as the chief, and this is what he has won. He is now the chief alternative to frontrunner Hillary Clinton, all by himself. His gains are most evident in New Hampshire, of course, where he leads Hillary Clinton by 7 points, according to the Boston Herald Franklin Pierce University poll. 44% to 37%, and that's real. We're joined right now by the roundtable. Ron Reagan, who's out there in Seattle, and Howard Fineman's here. MSNBC political analyst April Ryan is a White House correspondent for American Urban Radio Networks, and Jason Johnson, he's our newcomer here, a political contributor to NBCnews.com. Let me go to Ron Reagan, give you the first shot. You're out there, Ron. Is this a moment or a movement? Let's start with Bernie. Let's start with the Democratic side. Is it a moment or a movement?
It remains to be seen. Right now, we can certainly declare it a moment. If he does any better, if he wins some primaries, then I think we'll start calling it a movement. It's interesting that Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump couldn't be more different in many ways. I mean, Donald Trump looks like he spends hours on his comb-over, and Bernie Sanders looks like he's never been introduced to a comb. But on one thing, they're very much alike, and they've both tapped into a kind of contempt I think there is growing in the middle of the country, if you will, for politics as usual and the usual candidates. Whether it's on the right or on the left, you've got a lot of people out here who identify with these two candidates who are just disgusted with the usual suspects showing up and saying the usual things.
Let me go to Jason on this. It seems to me the difference in age between Trump and Bernie is hardly any. It's like 3 or 4 years. Right. But one seems to, it's not just appearance, but one really represents an earlier age, the 1930s, the 1960s, the socialist tradition, fair enough. Whereas this other guy's like Mr. Improv. I don't know what tradition he represents, Donald Trump. What?
That's what's so exciting about both of them. Look, Donald Trump seems like the kind of guy who could jump off a horse in the middle of a rally. I'm expecting him to land his helicopter in this rally in Alabama or skydive out. It's exciting. It engages people. I was at Netroots with Bernie Sanders. People came running in there like it was a Justin Bieber concert. Wow. I mean, they both get a lot I excitement.
It's just like the Tony Bennett thing. Tony Bennett's pushing, what, 90 almost, yes. And the guy has got, for years, he's been able to make this comeback work. You know, with going up against Lady Gaga and people like that.
Oh yeah, people still find it exciting.
But his comeback has been with, like you say, with Lady Gaga or with Stevie Wonder. It's not by himself. And for Bernie Sanders, he's 73 years old, and we're seeing the test of the trail. It's about stamina, and we're hearing his voice crack already. And he might have great, yes, Bernie, and he looks tired. And
whereas the other guy seems to be juicing up.
Oh, Donald Trump is ret to go. He is ret to go, as they say, the kids say.
What happens to Howard? Who's running the store?
Who's running which store?
He's got an $11 billion business he supposedly runs, and he just left. He took French leave of it. And nobody's saying, where's Donald?
It's not only stylistic in the comb or lack or comb. It's not only the energy or the lack of energy. They're coming from different places. Philosophically, meaning that Donald Trump is the big business guy descending out of the clouds of big business to make society work. And
where's Bernie coming from?
And Bernie is coming from the campus with a list of non-negotiable demands. You know,
He was the give peace
he's serving a subpoena on the country.
We went to school with that guy. We know him. He's the political science professor
in the
60s. That's right. Give peace a
Okay,
chance,
my
guy.
favorite political science prep 101. Anyway, much more, by the way, I think Trump comes from Krypton. Much more with the roundtable up next, including how the Trump campaign plans on actually winning the 2016. They have an actual plan now. You can buy one of them. This is Hardball, the place for politics.
You know that.